there. My name is Jessica Drizin, and I'm excited to take you backstage into the world of user experience research with me. The first and most important thing to understand about what I do as a researcher is that my goal is to represent you, the freelancers of Upwork. So let's dive into the world of user experience research and how our teams conduct and use research to create great experiences on Upwork for freelancers like you. Before I share a little bit about what I do at Upwork, let me first tell you a little bit about what user experience research is. Have you ever tried a product or service that felt utterly useless to you? Like the company responsible for it just doesn't get you at all? Well, at the very core, user researchers make sure that does not happen at their company. We build a better bridge between our users and the product builders to make sure that we're building the right products with the right quality and at the right time for you. In fact, more and more companies across industries are building out user research teams because of how effective we are at helping them become more customer-centric. Your next question might be, well, how do you do that? In short, user experience research is the study of user behaviors, needs, and motivations through an assortment of feedback methodologies. There's an infinite number of creative ways in which we set out to understand your needs and behaviors, but you might recognize some of the more common methods, like surveys, which help us understand our freelancers more broadly, and one-on-one user research interviews, which help us understand our freelancers more deeply. So if you ever get an email for a survey or a paid research discussion invitation, you'll be sharing your experiences and feedback to help us understand how to continue to build a better Upwork for our millions of freelancers. So what does that look like in practice? Let's say, for example, that we wanted to build out a new product offering to make it easier for our freelancers to conduct their work on Upwork. But where do we start? How do we know what to build or if it will actually be useful for you? This is where user research comes in. We help our product teams generate relevant ideas that actually service or solve true freelancer needs or challenges. However, it's not as simple as asking a bunch of freelancers what they need. In fact, there's a lot of careful thought and planning that goes into the questions we ask, how we decide to ask them, and how we communicate those insights back to our product teams. In this example, we might start with learning more about your freelancer habits, routines, and tools. Or maybe we'll ask you what a good day and a bad day looks like in the world of freelancing. These types of questions help us better understand where to focus our energy or how we might support you with a new product offering. In fact, some of my best learnings have come from incredibly creative and even funny user research activities. Like one time where I had freelancers create a meme of themselves to better understand how they feel about freelancing. As fun as it is for freelancers to participate in activities like these, it's also incredibly insightful for me as a user researcher because it helps me understand not only what our users are thinking and feeling, but also why they're thinking and feeling that way. This helps us make sure that we're addressing the right needs and challenges instead of just what we hear or see on the surface. Okay. So let's say we've now spent a few days, weeks, or even months talking to and surveying freelancers. Now we need to review everything we heard and think about what it means and how it should influence what we build. This is what we call our synthesis step in research. And generally, it involves a lot of deep thinking, sticky notes, and snacks. Sometimes we do this on our own, but more often we actually do this with our product teams. In our example of trying to determine the next product to build, the final result might look like different themed groups of stickies that focus on different types of tools or challenges that freelancers face. Perhaps one theme might be managing client expectations or dealing with scope creep, and maybe another might be around financial management. After that, it's time to package it up into a nicely written report of insights and recommendations based on the research and share it out with our product teams. From there, we continue to work with these teams to brainstorm potential solutions and then filter each solution idea through prioritization considerations, like the amount of effort involved compared to the expected impact it would have on freelancers, to help us narrow down the best fit solution. Once we have a solution or a few solution options in mind, we go back to our freelancers and actually test them. We do this because as researchers, we know that product teams don't always know what's best for you. You do. While this is just one example of how we might use research to influence what we do at Upwork, you'll find us researchers discovering, listening, analyzing, and testing across our products and experiences at Upwork. As users of Upwork, you likely already know that there's a lot to cover across these experiences. It's certainly not something that I can tackle on my own. So let me introduce the rest of the user research team behind the curtain. First up, we have Grace and Sarah, who are in charge of acquisition and onboarding research. They support their team by learning about how freelancers discover Upwork and what questions they have about Upwork before deciding if it's the right place for them, all the way through the sign-up process and how we can make sure we provide a seamless experience that leaves freelancers feeling confident about their profile and prospect of success on Upwork. Sarah's favorite part about being a user researcher is that she's surrounded by passionate people that she gets to collaborate with around building products that people love. Next, we have Sally, our quality matches guru, who's dedicated to making sure that the right jobs show up for freelancers and that search results for clients looking for freelancers is accurate. In her time at Upwork, Sally has made it her personal mission to create quality matches that allow clients and freelancers to connect easily. Her approach to user research can best be described through a quote from Neil deGrasse Tyson. For me, I'm driven by two main philosophies: know more about the world today than I knew yesterday, and lessen the suffering of others. You'd be surprised how far that gets you. Mariana has spent her time at Upwork working with a few different teams, but more recently focusing on the ways in which we can retain clients longer and for bigger projects on Upwork so that we can have even more project opportunities for you. A fun fact about Mariana is that her original dream job was to be a podcaster interviewing people about their work. Somehow she found her way to an incredibly similar job at Upwork interviewing freelancers and clients about their work. Next up, we have myself and Carolina, who have teamed up to tackle nearly anything and everything freelancer related. We've tackled questions like, why is it so challenging to find your first job on Upwork, to understanding what makes freelancers like you trust or distrust Upwork. We love working with freelancers in particular because we get to hear all the incredible stories and journeys that brought you to freelancing and to Upwork, and we get to regularly connect with people around the world. Last and certainly not least, we have the heart and brain of our research operation. Dito, our head of research, helps make sure we're always asking the right questions at the right time. And Angelica keeps us focused as a group as a planning and organizational genius, and also helps us connect with users for all our research studies. Most importantly for you, she makes sure you get paid for the time you spend sharing your experiences and feedback. Overall, we're a small but mighty team that's always in your corner, making sure we understand what you need and want, and helping our product teams build it. For those of you who don't know, Upwork's official mission is to create economic opportunities so people have better lives. As a user experience researcher, I feel incredibly lucky that I get to spend every minute of my working day living our values by helping our teams figure out ways in which we can continue to serve that mission. It's been so wonderful to have the opportunity to show you behind the scenes with user experience research at Upwork. I hope we have a chance to connect in the future. And if you're curious about how, there's a few ways. First, we encourage you to post in our Upwork community. We read and comment in many of them and occasionally send out user research invites through the community. Second, we love when you fill out surveys. We know we can't have one-on-one conversations with all of you, so a survey is the easiest way for us to learn more about your needs and challenges as a freelancer and user of Upwork. You'll spot them throughout our product as well as occasional emails. And last but not least, we highly encourage you to accept invites to user research interviews and activities. Not only are these paid opportunities, but they give you a chance to share what's on your mind about freelancing, grievances and all. Some freelancers have even described conversations with our researchers as therapeutic and reflective. There's really no downside to participating in user research. I hope you enjoyed this backstage tour with me and my team, and I look forward to hearing from you as we continue our mission of discovery and learning on behalf of our Upwork freelancers.